I think it was the astrophysicist Brian Cox who said that in the infinite reaches of the sky, diamonds and gold are 10 a penny. The rarest material anywhere in the universe might just be wood, and the rarest wood might just be this. Either side of the year 1700, the productive years of a generation of violin makers of genius like Bergonzi, Guarneri and Stradivari, we call him Stradivarius, coincided with a period of remarkably slow tree growth known as the Maunder Minimum, with reduced solar activity, cool summers and long winters. Those brilliant craftsmen took wood from the hazel spruce forest at Paneveggio, 100 kilometres southwest of Cortina, to their workshops in Cremona and transformed it into the greatest string instruments ever made. The Catalan concert violinist Jorge Jiménez is the owner of one of these rare and magnificent objects.
They say there is magic in these Cremonense instruments, and there is. We don't know what it is, but definitely the quality of the wood and the way it's been aged, dried and carved is just incredible. We have in front of us this gorgeous Michelangelo Bergonzi around 1720 Cremona. You can see it's very, very particular curve. It's incredibly fat. I always say it looks like it's slightly pregnant. The grain is incredibly close, it's very, very narrow, which makes it perfect for the resonance of the instrument. It's a very special instrument.
So wood can be remarkable, magical, even sacred. Yet the 2026 Winter Olympics have caused vast clearance of trees. At Livigno, an entire mountainside has been defaced. At Cortina, a forest of more than 800 larches, some of them over 160 years old, were cut down for the new bobsleigh run. The idea that nothing is sacred and nature is good only for being turned to a profit may persist in politics, big business, the fossil fuels industry and international mega-events like these climate crisis games, but daily exposure to it incites a very different attitude. I met the Woodland Trust tree scientist Martin Hughey in a beech forest in central England to ask him, when you cut down a forest, what is it that you're destroying?
The world is alive, the planet is alive, and we are part of that. We share this current bubble of life that we're part of. We're not separate from it. Humans have a very reductionist way of looking at the world currently. We tend to see nature, natural resources, and look at things as about what can they do for us, or if they're in the way of what we think we want to do. One way of looking at trees is that there is an individual tree, but trees and woodlands are an important part of the atmosphere, part of the climate regulation. They're part of the water cycle, they're part of the carbon dioxide and oxygen cycle. We've got fungi in the soils, we've got woodland plants, climbers, and the species, the invertebrates and the birds and everything that lives within the woodland. It's a community.
We now know that subsoil fungi form huge living mycorrhizal networks between trees, so scientists today speak of tree communication and even speculate about a remarkable underground ecosystemic consciousness.
There are trading strategies, if you like, between mycorrhizal species and plants and trees, and they can move chemicals around, and so there is communication of a sort. And in the same way, I think there is consciousness that exists in a different way within nature, within our ecosystems.
The deforestation around Cortina affected trees 160 years old, mere saplings compared with a larch felled in the 1930s in the Stelvio National Park, where the men's downhill skiing is taking place. It had 2,200 rings, each one representing a year. You'd think such organisms would be worthy of respect.
One of the things that really always surprises me really is just how little we value organisms that are so old, that have been there much longer than the generations that we can really conceive of. Some organisms, some invertebrates, some beetles only live in trees that are hundreds of years old, that have been through a decay cycle within their heartwood that has had other species beforehand doing what they do. By removing trees, we are taking away that opportunities for future niches, destroying that habitat for future generations. If they're old trees in particular, you're removing the genetics of trees that have adapted to that particular environment.